Satanism is much more than the teenage adolescents dabbling of so-called Satanists who worship directly the actual Christian devil and proceed so by perhaps showing by sacrifices and being dark-souled. Generally, all members are atheists and they have no belief on what comes to the afterlife. They just believe you live and then you die, so that's why their beliefs have so much to do with personal pleasure and enjoying the beauty of life. They do not view the devil as a deity nor a god, but just a simple force of nature. The Church of Satan itself was created on the night of April 30th, 1966. Anton LaVey had already had this date in mind when he decided to begin the church. The date holds significance to Satanists as it is the most holy of nights for them, as it is the traditional night of the most important demonic celebration of the year, when witches and devils roam the earth, glorifying the spring equinox. It is currently ran by Magus Peter Gilmore since the passing of Anton LaVey in 1997. It currently has around 10,000 members and is located in San Francisco. Walpurgis Night is the biggest night of the year for the religious aspect of Satanism, as it marks exactly 6 months from All Hallows Eve, or Halloween for us in the Western mindset. But this is the night that is classified as the night when the demonic spirits and witches roam the earth. It is named after Saint Walburga, who was a British nun in the 8th century who traveled to Germany, and she was buried there in a rock formation, and one night an oil tricked from the tomb, and it reminded men of Valkyrie. As it happened on the day of May 1st, she was then associated with spring flowers and fruitful dew upon fields and vales. On Walpurgis Night, precaution must be taken against witches who may harm cattle. The stable doors are locked and sealed with 3 crosses. Sprigs of ash, hawthorn, juniper, and elder, once sacred to the pagan gods, are now used as protection against them. Horseshoes are nailed up, prongs up on the threshold or over the door. Holy bells are hung on the cows to scare away the witches, and they are guided to pasture by a goad which has been blessed. Shots are fired over the cornfield. They also celebrate this night by having huge bonfires and drinking. The sigil of Baphomet was not the original symbol for this religion. It was not until the late 1960s that this symbol was used. Generally, the inverted cross and immoral or blasphemous works of Christian art were the symbols. The inverted cross is St. Peter's cross, originated when Christianity's St. Peter was in Rome. He was sentenced to be crucified, but he did not want to perish like his Lord Jesus Christ did, so they crucified him upside down. From this, most Christian faiths view the upside-down cross as the Antichrist, except the Roman Catholics. But not until the Church of Satan was created in 1966 was the goat and pentagram, otherwise known as the sigil of Baphomet, by Dr. Anton LaVey, who was the founder of Church of Satan. But with his use of the symbol, it was only a short amount of time before it was used in film, photographs, and media. The symbol consists of a head of a goat inside an upside-down pentagram with a circle on it, and 5 Hebrew letters surrounding it, 1 letter at each of the 5 points of the inverted star figure, and is read in a counterclockwise way. This word is Leviathan. This word stems from the traditions of the so-called serpent Jews, and this is the essence of the dragon of the abyss, descended from Tiamat, and sometimes it symbolizes Ouroboros, which is a serpent biting its own tail, forming a circle. So in one symbol, we find a mixture of several cultures' approach to symbolizing what is in their version of the worldwide known Satan. As he is the founder of the Church of Satan, he held the highest position possible in the church, which is known as Magus, or High Priest. He grew up in the San Francisco Valley and as a teenager dropped out of high school to join the circus and carnival festivals during the 40s and 50s. During these times, he claims that he questioned Christianity beliefs as, and I quote, "On Saturday nights I would be playing at a lounge and see men paying for drinks, flirting, and being sinful. Yet on Sunday mornings, I would see these same men asking for forgiveness from their God, sitting in the pews with their wife and children. And it just seemed to me to be a double standard." But it was not until the mid-50s that he began to claim as a psychic and started working at the San Francisco Police Department to assist in solving cases. By 1965, he was doing Friday night lectures on Satanism about its occults and rituals. But a certain night in the spring of '66, he shaved his head as he claimed the executioners of the ancestors have done before him, claimed that this is to be the first year of Satan, so a new religion had officially been established. Since that night, the publicity and media launched into a whirlwind and took it off into the world. Since that night, he has been interviewed on many television shows, such as Johnny Carson, and also in many magazines, such as Time and Newsweek. In 1997, he died of pulmonary edema, yet his legacy of the church and his lectures live on. The Satanic Bible is viewed by the Church of Satan followers as an authoritative text. The book goes into great depth on the religious aspects of religious beliefs, structure, history, and how to build your life with the religion. The book tells how religion is based, such as how it promotes hedonism, which is pleasure should be much greater than pain. The Satanic Bible has 4 books. The most important one is being the Book of Lucifer. As it describes and debunks many myths surrounding the religion of Satanism, it explains how they view Satan as a force of nature and contains most of the religious philosophy. It debunks such myths such as the people who take part in the religion have no self-respect and have very open sexual relations with many people. They state that you can have sexual freedom just as long as you do not harm others in the process or push it on to others. It also states their own version of the golden rule, and it states, "Do unto others as they do unto you." The Satanic Book of Lucifer tells that the religion derives itself from being you and making oneself happy, by making most of your lives and exceeding as much pleasure from life as possible. They refer to this as controlled selfishness. To go along with that, they advocate the 7 deadly sins, not as sins, but as a way to exceed in your personal pleasure and be happy. This religion is very much so opposite of the religion of Christianity, as instead of believing that then and there, it builds off the idea of here and now. Also, to go off that idea, they believe heavily in self-indulgence and pleasure instead of self-denial. They also believe in the eye for an eye philosophy. Satanists believe in a certain guidelines how to live their life. These include: do not give advice or an opinion unless asked to, do not express your troubles to people unless they want to hear it. When in someone's home, treat them with respect. If someone is in your house and they annoy you, show them cruelty and with no mercy. Do not make sexual advances unless the mating signal is given. Do not take what isn't yours unless it is a burden to that person. Do not harm young children. Do not kill non-human beings unless attacked or for food. And when walking in open territory and someone annoys you, and after you ask them to stop, they go on, destroy them. A major position for them is being an individual and not falling to herd conformity, which is not following the crowd and essentially being your own god. The devil, the name behind the religion. As many people who view the religion from an uninformed mindset, they see this religion as worshiping the evilness of the Christian devil. But this is not the case. This religion does not look at Satan as a deity or a living object to worship, but they view him as a force of nature. This whole religion starts with atheism, and from there, they believe in no gods and worship nobody. He is seen as the one who questions, and is seen in world mythology and religion as a prideful rebel. Satanists view Satan as he represents self-indulgence, since how they view the person to be their own god, and to receive personal pleasure. He also represents undefined wisdom instead of selfish deceit. Satan also shows kindness for those who deserve it, not love wasted on ingrates who don't deserve it. Yet he also represents vengeance instead of taking the high road. That you should always retaliate instead of turning the other cheek. It is also said that he takes the Christian sins and applies them self-gratification. He is also mentioned as man just as an animal, sometimes better, more often worse than those who walk on all fours, because divine spiritually and intellectual development have been the most vicious animal of them all. And this has been my presentation on the religion of Satanism. Thank you very much.